Hi there. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Trina O'Gorman, and if you are returning, thank you for joining me again. So, it is election season in the United States, and a lot of people are feeling a lot of different things right now. A lot of people that I know are struggling with anxiety and stress and maybe even feeling sad or depressed. So, I want to talk to you a bit about that in this week's video. So, I started doing some research because I have not felt this way since 2020. And I decided to try to find out if there was a name for it, and there is. It's referred to as election stress disorder. And that's a term that was coined by a therapist by the name of Steve Stosny, I think his name is. He coined the term election stress disorder back in 2016, or maybe it was 2020, but it was based on studies and research done by the APA, the American Psychological Association. And they found that after surveying American adults, that more than 60% of American adults were reporting feeling depressed, sad, and anxious as a result of the elections. So let's talk a bit about what election stress disorder feels like and how you can use expressive and narrative writing as one of the strategies and coping tools to perhaps help you feel a little bit better and get through this period in our lives. So again, election stress disorder or election stress syndrome, these are not medical or psychological diagnoses, but they do refer to the anxiety, the feelings of anxiousness and stress and depression and overwhelm that a lot of people find themselves feeling during election season. And even though it's not a medical diagnosis, the symptoms are very real. The way you feel and the way that a lot of other people are feeling, those are valid feelings and they have an impact on our day-to-day lives. So, some of the physical symptoms that people are experiencing right now include things like muscle aches and muscle tension, trouble sleeping, stomach upset. People are feeling heart palpitations. And then some people are feeling really fatigued, but then also are having trouble sleeping. So there's, interruptions in people's eating, interruptions in people's sleeping, and so they are not feeling physically. And then emotionally, a lot of people are feeling upset, and so they are irritable or sad or depressed. Some people are having like mood swings because, they're trying to get through their lives. And so they're up and down, up and down. They're happy one minute and sad the next, or feeling anxious or, you know, um, scared or sad. And then, feeling happy about something good that's going on in their lives. So just all over the place. And then there are some of the psychological symptoms where people are feeling doomed, like they have no control over their future or their lives. Um, some people find themselves constantly worrying about what is going on. There's a lot of people are reporting struggling to concentrate, like I'm struggling right now, and forgetting things. And so there are physical, emotional, and psychological symptoms that people are experiencing. And even though, as I said, it's not a formal, medical or psychological diagnosis, it's very real. And a lot of people are reporting feeling this way. And so why did all of this happen like around 2016, 2020? Well, I really don't want to get into talking politics, but um, in recent years, there have been some shifts in just the energy surrounding the presidential elections in this country. Things have been a lot more volatile, a lot more hostile than they have been in past elections. Add to that the fact that we are exposed to social media and news outlets 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, which just was not the case pre internet. So, pre the internet era, when I was younger, you had newspapers, you had like the morning and evening news reports that everyone was watching. People were more or less getting the same or similar information from these sources. Nowadays, you have a huge variety of information sources. There's a lot of misinformation out there. We are doing battle with algorithms that have partitioned and divided people into these siloed groups, these echo chambers, where they hear what they want to hear, see what they want to see, and are exposed to things that either cause them anxiety and strengthen their beliefs in things that may or may not be true or helpful or even within their control. And this has a really big impact on our mental, physical, and emotional health. So here's some ways I think that expressive writing can help. I suggest setting aside some time every single day, maybe multiple times a day, when it's just you and your notebook and pen or your computer if you write digitally, and you spend that time, that's some me time, with yourself writing. If you do it in the morning, it can help you clear your thoughts and set your tone for the rest of the day. If you do it in the evening, you can use it as an opportunity to chill, relax, wind down, go over what happened throughout the course of the day, and maybe clear your mind so you can get some sleep. And there are a number of ways that you can approach expressive writing. It might be helpful to just dump all of your ideas and feelings and fears and worries and emotions onto the paper. For a lot of people, that can be very helpful. However, that's not helpful for everyone. Some people will just find themselves more and more and more anxious if they take that route. For some people, it might be helpful to use expressive writing as a way of focusing, or, an opportunity, I should say, to focus on some of the other things that are going on in your life. Yes, this is an election season. Yes, these are very high stake elections that will impact all of us in the United States and globally. This is serious. However, we also know that we only have but so much control over what is happening. And we also have our own lives to live. As the minutes and hours and days go by, when we are, you know, wringing our hands and worried and anxious, time is passing us by. Our children are growing older. We're growing older. Our opportunities to pursue our dreams and love the people that we love and do the things that we need to do, the time for that is also passing us by. And so you could use this time to set out your goals, to write about your memories, to focus on some things that you might want to do in the future. So, plans, vacations, to remember some of the happier times in life. I think, well, I don't think, I know that psychologically we have a negative bias. And so we will focus on the what ifs, worst case scenarios in a way, or to preserve ourselves. These are emotional and evolutionary safety mechanisms, and the body is set up to fight, to run, to do whatever it needs to do to help us to survive. But if we're in that mode all of the time, it's not healthy. And so spending that time writing about, your favorite childhood memory, or, remembering a great culinary experience that you had. We recently went out to a restaurant called, I could mispronouncing it, Dhamal, Dhamal, Indian fusion cuisine, and it was so delicious. Even just mentioning it right now, I can still smell the spices that I smelled when we walked through the door of the restaurant, and the tastes were so divine, so exquisite, that I wasn't even angry when I got the crazy bill at the end of the meal. I was shocked, but I wasn't mad. It was money well spent. And just writing down the different things that we chose off of the menu. I mean, it's easy enough to bring the menu up online. So even if I don't remember the names and the descriptions of all of the delicious dishes that we had, I can certainly look those up online, write about them so that I can look back at that time and really remember the great meal that we had as a family. So I can write about, or you can write about, your feelings and your worries and your concerns. And that's a valid thing to do, right? You can also write about positive things, as I mentioned, things that you're grateful for, or things that made you feel good. It might be a good idea to do a combination of these things. Um, and you don't have to, when I say that, do the combination all at one time. I think oftentimes people take writing tips as prescriptions almost, and it's like, okay, I have to sit down and write, and first I have to do this, and then I have to do that. No, maybe one day it'll be helpful to write about, your worries and concerns, and then maybe in the next writing session, which if that's the same day, so be it. If it's another day, so be it. You might want to write about a positive memory or some things that you're grateful for. So I don't like to say, oh, you have to write every single day in order to be okay, because I don't believe that. I think for some people, having a daily writing routine is helpful. I think for other people, that's additional stress. I think people go through different seasons in their lives where at some points in their lives it may make perfect sense and be very helpful to write every day. And then at other points of their life, it might not be so helpful. I will say that right now, with everything that is going on and the fact that so many people are feeling stressed and overwhelmed and sad and depressed, it might be a good idea. You'll have to, figure this out for yourself, but it might be a good idea to adopt it as a regular practice right now. Regular routines, consistent routines can actually anchor you at times like this and make you feel a bit more stable and a bit less crazed as we're going through this difficult time in what will be the history of our lives. Expressive writing, journaling can be an extremely liberating experience. It can be freeing. And it is in that vein that I am talking about it today, because I think for so many of us, we are feeling constrained and restricted and boxed in by all of the concerns that we're feeling and all of the madness that is happening outside of us and oftentimes beyond our reach and control. And there's plenty of research out there that backs up the fact that writing can help ease your stress, help boost your immune function, which is important right now because we don't want to start getting sick. And it can improve our mood. And that's important for our well being and for the people that we know and love and are around on a day-to-day basis. It's really critical, very important that we take care of ourselves, that we take care of our mental health, that we take care of our physical, spiritual, and emotional selves through all of this, through all of these stressful times that we experience. I'll see a lot of people stressed out, wringing their hands and just, feeling awful. And then I'll read reports that the same people that we're stressing out about, they're on vacation, or they're out on the golf course, or they're out at dinner, or some, lovely function that we're not invited to, nor could we ever afford to attend, while we're all stressed out and struggling to live our lives and being messes. So I think that it is really important to manage our stress and anxiety and really embrace the importance of well-being and maintaining our joy and our love for our lives and for the people in it. I hope you found this information to be helpful and supportive. And I would love to hear your insights, your experiences, your comments, all of that good stuff. So let's have a discussion in the comments about that. So I want you to stay calm. I want you to stay informed. I want you to keep writing. I want you to stay liberated. And I want you to get out there and vote. And we'll see you next time. All right. Stay safe and stay well. Talk to you soon. Bye.